Okay, Pisces, I'm going to do your March equinox reading. And I'm just going to do a simple beginning, middle, and end for this season. Okay, so for the beginning of the season, it looks like you are represented by the Nine of Wands. So that means you've been working through something that has felt really like more than you thought it would be. Whether that's like it took too long or something that's just required more effort, basically. Your crossing energy for that thing that took too long is going to be the Page of Swords. So that means there's something about this burden that has become too much that you really need to have a fresh idea come in about. So that might be that because it's crossing you, that might be someone else like coming to you with this new idea, or someone else, giving you some information that's gonna help you rethink it. As far as what led up to that situation, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So to me, that means this is something that you were working on in a context that was to like set yourself up. So either like you're prepping for a project at work, or you are prepping for something to do with your home life that has become too much of a burden and more than you thought it was going to be. And then the future of that situation for the beginning is going to be the High Priestess. So whatever that new information that you get about the burdensome situation, it's going to turn you inward towards thinking about what do you intuitively know about how that situation played out that has kind of revealed something new to you in your inner knowing. And that probably has something to do with that piece of information that gets put in your ear by someone else, I think, about, not how things went wrong, but how things veered down the path of being too much for you. And then moving into the middle of the season, you're going to be represented by the Fool. So I think really what that points to is this inner knowing coming from the beginning section here has pushed you to this new pursuit, new thing that has opened up in your knowing that you need to step out into. And when it's the Fool, usually it means you don't have the information that you would normally, as a Queen of Pentacles, really like to have all of the ducks in a row for. For the Fool, it's really about like you need to take a step out into the unknown, a shaky step. But that's very exciting on one point. And when that is crossed with the Nine of Pentacles, that's a really beautiful step. So I think that means that you are stepping into a little bit more independence. I could see that Nine of Wands situation that you were in before being kind of something that was wrapped up with other people, whether you were trying to do too many different things for too many people, or maybe trying to help carry the load for too many people and ended up overburdening yourself. This Nine of Pentacles really points to that this Fool situation is going to be about stepping into something that puts you in a more independent place where you are more resourced to be able to take care of what needs to be taken care of for yourself. And that's going to be coming out of this Emperor energy as a setup energy. So that's really about that inner truth that you learned in the High Priestess becoming an outer truth that you can represent with confidence to other people. So something's going to be confirmed to you in such a way that you will start with it just being inside yourself, but it's going to be pushed into the farther time goes along that this is something you really want and need to show your authority into to other people. So as that moves along, that's going to put you in the Lovers card. So it's going to push you into needing to make a choice. Sometimes this is in like a love relationship. Sometimes it's just a one-to-one relationship. So that could be sometimes with yourself, different parts of yourself. Sometimes it's with coworker, boss, different things like that. But with the Lovers, it's usually about some relationship that you're mirroring in a way that you need to make a choice how you're going to do that. So with this Independence and Fool, Nine of Pentacles being the base of the middle situation, I would say that the Lovers is really going to be about something you need to reconcile in yourself, two different needs that you have inside of you. And this new one that you've figured out in this Emperor, I think, is what's really come to the front. You need to be able to balance this old and new selves that you're reconciling together now, and how do they play with each other, or how do they interact, and what does each part of you need to be provided for. And then as we move to the end of the season, you're going to be represented by the Hanged Man. So usually that's going to look like somewhere that you need to spend some time not doing, but focusing on, you've had your perception and your focus in one way, and you need to look at the other perspectives that are available that are surrounding that. And that in general just takes time. The Hanged Man is going to be crossed by the Knight of Cups. So to me, that means you've gained a lot of knowledge in the beginning and middle of the season. And that's a really thinking, mind focus trajectory. Once you get to the end of the season, you really are looking at this Knight of Cups crossing you. What are the emotional repercussions of the things that you've figured out, of the things that you've shaken up and changed? How is it making you feel now? Who are you now that you feel a new way about this situation? So I think that new perspective that you're going to need to feel into and have patience with is going to be really heart focused and emotional about, even if it's just the repercussions of what have happened, but maybe seeing yourself in a new place. How has that brought the emotion? What emotions has it brought with you, and which ones do you notice has it left behind? Especially with the Death being the card that's coming before this, something is going to change that you might not have been looking at first when you were doing this practical situation. Something that really needed to move forward by an ending or a beginning has come to light now that you are in this emotional state at the end of the season. And that death rebirth is going to push you into a Page of Cups situation as you're forward looking from that. So the Knight is coming at you with this like energy of emotion and things moving. But that's going to push you into this page energy where you are going to need to just be curious about what is this new part of you? What is this new thing that has opened in your heart space that just needs to be explored, really? Okay, and then I'm going to just draw 3 cards as anchor cards for you for this season to settle yourself into and know as your main teachers for the season. Okay, so you've got alchemy, the wheel, and the elder. So alchemy and the wheel are really all about working with the energies as they come and not really trying to do, I'm going to fix the whole situation and this is the strategy and I'm going to wrap it up. It's really about the wheel centering what truths you do know, centering how you're operating from a place that's sustainable for you. Alchemy is about not making giant leaps, but looking at the path right ahead of you and saying, you know, what's the one step I can take? What kind of experimentation can I take? And then, you know, discuss from there, how did that work out? What would be the step after that? But with the elder being your final anchor card, I would say this really means that whatever truth you learn through this situation, having the emperor twice really means that there is going to be some part of it that is an absolute truth for you that you really need to anchor down into, knowing that even with parts of things changing, that is a true anchor truth for you, and that you can, you know, hang your hat on this thing that comes to light, that you need to move into this truth that you need to express to others. You really can anchor yourself in it this season.